Hello students, good morning to all. Welcome back to Community Health Nursing. I wish you all a very happy new year 2020-21. We all are waiting here for you all to have a face-to-face interactive class. So let us hope that we will be having a bright and successful upcoming new year. So these all topics I was assigned with. So we have started with Unit 4. So in Unit 4, Delivery of Healthcare in India, I was assigned with 5 hours and all the topics I have covered. All the topics are very very important. That means even the public health services, especially in the rural area, it is very important. Subcenter, PHC, CHC, frequently university used to ask various questions from this part. Then in that the job description of various community health personals, it's also very very important. Then the system of medicine, that is especially the Ayush, allopathy, Ayurveda, homeopathy, Siddha, Unani, all these things are also very very important. So that unit we have already covered. Then we were going through this unit 5. So I hope from these units only these topics are assigned for me. So under unit 5 we were discussing various components of health services. So in that we have already discussed regarding school health, occupational health. So today I have already uploaded adolescent health for you, and now we will be discussing regarding the organization of camps and clinics. So I just want to tell you that some of the topics which I have already been taken for BSc 4th year, which is pre-recorded, I used to upload for you. So I hope you all are able to understand. There is no need for you to mind the introductory part or the previous class which I used to tell. Maybe the unit number changes, but the topic is the exact one. So you all can follow that. I never force you to take any of the printouts, but if you wish that in your textbook that particular note is not there, particular content is not present in the textbook which you are having in your hand, then of course you all can take printout. Otherwise you can write a small running notes with the headings. So it is up to you. Today let us discuss about organization of clinics and camps. So after this particular class we are having only pending with unit 2, that is family health services. So today we are going to wind up the unit 5, the last topic, that is organization of clinics and camps. So let us start with clinics and camps. So organizing a clinic or organizing a camp, it is really one of the major part of a community health service. So we all have seen various clinics which are working in our community in and around. Like for example, we have seen about various antenatal clinics, immunization clinics. So age wise, even for old age they have special geriatric clinics. So same way even camp also. Even as a community health nurse student, when we are having the curriculum part itself, it's a part of our community posting to even conduct a small camp, a health camp, so that as a community health nurse we all should get an idea how to organize or how to organize a well established health camp, or what are the things which is needed for a health camp. So let us further more discuss regarding clinics and various camps. So starting with, what do you mean by a clinic? So clinic is a place as in connection with a medical school or a hospital for the treatment of non-resident patients, sometimes at low cost or without charge. So clinic means it can be a part of a hospital, or it can be a part of a medical college or a medical school, something related with medical field. The only thing is most probably they won't have a inpatient department, so they never treat any inpatients, and they treat at a low cost, and sometimes even without any charges they treat the people. So even the dictionary meaning, it clearly tells that clinics conducted with many purposes but the primary goal is treating outpatients. So as I have told, the name of the clinic, sometimes it indicates what is the main purpose of care. Sometimes antenatal clinic. So we all know that it is only for antenatals. Under 5 clinic, it is only for under 5 children. But only thing is they always treat the outpatients only. They never have a inpatient department. Sometimes even these clinics, they even act as a primary care center also. In further more complicated cases, they used to refer the cases further to the higher hospitals or to the expert hospitals. So let us see, like we usually witness many specialty clinics conducted in hospitals, like for example ortho clinic, neuro clinic, dental clinic. Even in a hospital itself, we have various specialty clinics which is attached with a hospital itself. So in community too, we have different clinics conducted, as I have told, in the rural community area, in the urban community area, especially like family planning clinics we can see in the urban area, and for first aid clinics we can see in the rural areas, all these things. So as we are studying this thing in community, let us see what are the clinics in the community. The major purpose of setting a clinic is mainly to help the needy in community. It is not always possible for all sick individuals of the community to attend a hospital because of affordability, time and accessibility. So as we all know, a country like India, we have different economical status. So all population, they are not high class or middle class. We have even BPL families also. So we are really worried about the medical services which is provided by the well established private hospitals, which we cannot sometimes even afford, or their timings is exactly different, or the accessibility, they all may be situated in the heart of the cities. So the rural people, they will not be able to access those clinics. So in this particular, that is the point where the real answer of a clinic comes. So clinics in the community, it really it is very needy for a community and for all the people, especially the below poverty line people. So let us see what are the usefulness. So by this time you all will be able to understand what are the useful features of a clinic or a camp. So clinics, let us see. Women who cannot find time to seek treatment from hospital located in far off places, as I have told, അല്ലേ, ദൂരെയൊക്കെയാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഹോസ്പിറ്റൽ, ആളുകൾക്ക് പോകാനായിട്ട് ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടുണ്ട് എങ്കിൽ ഉറപ്പായിട്ടും നമ്മുടെ തൊട്ടടുത്തുള്ള ഒരു ക്ലിനിക് ആയിരിക്കും നമുക്ക് എപ്പോഴും ആക്സസിബിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ളത്. സോ വിമൻ മോസ്റ്റ്ലി ആഫ്റ്റർ ദർ ഹൗസ് ഹോൾഡ് വർക്ക്സ്, ഓർ ഇഫ് എ വർക്കിംഗ് വിമൻ, സോ എസ്പെഷ്യലി they usually able to go freely to a clinic more than to a hospital. Sick children who cannot walk and have no caretakers to carry. If the children is also very sick and if they are not able to travel long, they can also go to a clinic which is nearby. All the people who have severe illnesses, even old people also, especially if they are going for some checkup or a regular monthly checkup, so they cannot travel for long distance, and of course they can go to a clinic. Even we all know that even if the surgery or the main procedures have undertaken in a big hospital also, the doctor used to tell that the monthly checkup you can do in the clinic which is near to you, or a small hospital which is near to you. There is no need to up down the long distance, maybe 6 months once or yearly once they can go to the parent hospital. Then physically challenged, so those who are physically challenged, those who are handicapped, or if you had a fracture, or if especially the transportation matters, if the patient is not able to travel, or if you are not in a condition, medical condition to travel, then of course we can depend upon a clinic. Poor people who are unaffordable to seek treatment from bigger hospitals due to their high cost, as I have told. In India, we have all category of economical status, so all the people will not be able to afford all the bigger hospitals. So in such cases, of course we can depend upon a clinic. Next is determinants of the service size. So how the services should be. So following are the factors that determine the service size, that is the number of people of the clinic. So how many people can afford this particular clinic, how many of them can come at a time, so for how many people a clinic should be. So it all depends upon these factors. First one is population. The people from local community and nearby residents utilize clinical services, and it is natural seeking attendance from the defined local areas. So as we all know, the local people only mostly go to the particular clinic. So it is advisable to access the nearby by making a small survey. So it is always better that before starting the clinic or before you are finalizing with the size of the clinic, it is better to take a small survey in which area it is going to be, and what is the community people status, what type of people they are being over there. So it will be helping. So always the population, it is one of the determining factor regarding the size and even the working of the clinic. Next is training of health workers. As we all know, the special training should be needed for a health worker who is working in a clinic. So efficient health workers are capable of serving the community at their doorsteps even. She not only focus on treating minor ailments, but also she always concentrate on health promoting activities, even disease prevention behaviors. So they mostly try to mold the behavior of people, because as we all know, nowadays nobody is illiterate, everybody is well educated, but only thing is the ignorance, or the main thing is their behavior or their attitude. So what we have to change is, instead of imparting knowledge, it is always good to talk to them and change their attitude, try to change their behavior. So then only we can see changes, then only we can bring some good attendance into the clinics. So training is very very important. Next, training of health workers. Next is affordability and number of doctor runs clinics in the location. So how much the people are able to afford, as I have told, mostly the rich people, they used to go to the private clinics, those who are working in regular base, especially the doctor clinics. If the doctor is available for 24 hours or for 12 hours, they would like to go and located near to their residences. So even nowadays we all know that even our parents or grandparents, they always try to have a comfortable zone. They won't like to go to a very far hospital, even though hospital is very good also. The transportation, all these things matter. So a small clinic, so if it is in a good working condition, of course everybody will be going there only. So it should locate near to the residents. Therefore it is not ideal to run non-profit service oriented clinics in such areas. So the areas where rich people are located, then there is no use of running a like non-profit service oriented clinics, because mostly rich people, they used to go to private clinics mostly. Then winning the confidence of the community. As we all know, ഒരു ക്ലിനിക്ക് വിജയകരമാകണമെങ്കിൽ നമ്മളെപ്പോഴും ആ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിയുടെ ആളുകളുടെ കോൺഫിഡൻസ് ഗെയിൻ ചെയ്യണം. സോ if a doctor is very good, if a doctor really treats well, if he speaks well to the people, and the way how he do the assessment, how much comfort the people get over there, or the counseling or the guidance given by the doctors and the other staff members in the clinic, it really matters for the confidence of the community. Next is cost of service. As I have told, especially people will look forward whether it is affordable. If it is affordable, or if it is free of cost, if the cost is less, then only we can tell that all the people will access. Maximum majority of the people who are in need, especially the middle class and the lower middle class people, will come to the clinics. Next is the prerequisites for setting a clinics. So before setting a clinic, ഒരു ക്ലിനിക്ക് നമ്മൾ സെറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് മുന്നേ നമുക്ക് വേണ്ട പ്രീ റിക്വസിറ്റ്സ് എന്തൊക്കെ കാര്യങ്ങളാണ് നമുക്ക് വേണ്ടത്. ഫസ്റ്റ് വൺ, ലൊക്കേഷൻ. സോ ഓഫ് കോഴ്സ് വി ഹാവ് ടു തിങ്ക് അബൌട്ട് ദ ലൊക്കേഷൻ. ക്ലിനിക് ഷുഡ് ബി ലൊക്കേറ്റഡ് ഇൻ ദ സെൻറ്റർ പാർട്ട് ഓഫ് ദ വില്ലേജ് സോ ദാറ്റ് ഇറ്റ് ക്യാൻ സെർവ് ദ ഹോൾ വില്ലേജ്. വൺ നീഡ് ടു ചൂസ് എ ന്യൂട്രൽ പ്ലേസ് ഇൻ കേസ് ഇഫ് ഇറ്റ് സെർവ് മോർ ദാൻ വൺ വില്ലേജ്. സോ ഇഫ് യു ആർ ലുക്കിംഗ് ഫോർ ടു വില്ലേജ്, രണ്ട് വില്ലേജിലെ പോപ്പുലേഷനും കൂടെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ആ ക്ലിനിക്കിൽ കവർ ചെയ്യണം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ രണ്ട് വില്ലേജിലെ ആളുകളും എൻ്റെ ക്ലിനിക്കിൽ വരണം എന്ന് താല്പര്യപ്പെടുന്നവർ, ദ ലൊക്കേഷൻ ഷുഡ് ബി ആപ്റ്റ് പ്ലേസ്, എ ന്യൂട്രൽ പ്ലേസ്, സോ ദാറ്റ് ദ ബോത്ത് വില്ലേജസ് ക്യാൻ കം. ലിങ്ക് റോഡുകളൊക്കെ ഉള്ള രണ്ട് വില്ലേജിൽ നിന്ന് എത്തിച്ചേരാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ഒരു ലൊക്കേഷനിലായിരിക്കണം ആ ക്ലിനിക്ക് നമ്മൾ തുടങ്ങേണ്ടത്. The distance between the residents' houses and clinics should be within an hour travel. Even we also we can think about our own examples. Like if a hospital is more than 1 hour journey, we never prefer to go. Same way, even a clinic also, if it is half an hour or 1 hour within, so that we can go and come back. So always the location is one of the main prerequisite. Next is meeting the community leaders. So before we start a clinic, we should meet the main community leaders. അല്ലേ, പഞ്ചായത്ത് പ്രസിഡൻറ്റ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ പഞ്ചായത്തിലെ മെമ്പേഴ്സ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവിടുത്തെ നേതാക്കളെ ഒക്കെ നമ്മൾ കാണുന്നത് വളരെ നന്നായിരിക്കും. ബിക്കോസ് വി വിൽ ഗെറ്റ് എ പ്രിലിമിനറി ഐഡിയ ഇൻ ദാറ്റ് മീറ്റിംഗ്. what type of people are over there, or which type of clinic is mostly in need, whether old age population is more there, or whether under 5 population is more there. So we can get an idea which type of service really the people is seeking there. Next one is layout. So as we all know, the even the health sub centers, they are also well established in all the villages. Even for 5,000 population, we have at least one sub center as per the government rules. So these sub centers, they also provide the clinic services. So if a new clinic you are starting, if it is very near to sub center, then there is of no use. So always think that the location or the layout is important. The private and non-governmental agencies run health clinics to provide services under two categories. That means either for profit or for not for profit. Even the when we have studied like voluntary organization, I hope you all remember what is voluntary organization. They are not working directly under the government, so they are autonomous board, but they raise the fund by either by paid work or without paid the work. So some of the people do it for charity, some of them they get. So it is of two types: it may be for profit, it may be of not for profit, only for service or charity. So permission from a statutory body is very very important to start a clinic. നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ ഹയർ അതോറിറ്റീസിൽ നിന്ന് ഒരു പെർമിഷൻ വേണം അല്ലേ? ആ വില്ലേജിലായാലും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഹെൽത്ത് സെക്ടേഴ്സിൽ നിന്നൊക്കെ ആയാലും നമുക്കൊരു സ്റ്റാറ്റ്യൂട്ടറി ബോഡീസിൽ നിന്ന് ഒരു പെർമിഷൻ വേണം ടു സ്റ്റാർട്ട് എ ക്ലിനിക്. ഓർഗനൈസിങ് ദ ക്ലിനിക്കൽ ആക്ടിവിറ്റീസ്. So this is all about the prerequisites. So even before starting the clinic, the main things what you have to think is the various activities are: first one is reception and registration area. So always the clinic should have a entrance, they should have a reception area or a registration area where the people used to write, they can write, the one person should be there in the reception always. They used to write in the register all the details, the age, their address, their phone number, age, everything they used to write, and for what thing they have came. If there is any initial registration fee there, only they used to collect also. And next they should have a height or weight measurement place or a special room for that. അപ്പം അടുത്തതായിട്ട് ഒരു ചെറിയ കോർണർ ഉണ്ടാവും അവിടെ ഹൈറ്റ്, വെയിറ്റ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ബി പി, ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു ജസ്റ്റ് ഒരു ഏരിയ ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കും. സോ ഇൻ ഓൾ ദ ക്ലിനിക്സ്, ഐ എം വെരി ഷുവർ ദാറ്റ് വി ഓൾ ഹാവ് അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് ഗോൺ വൺസ് ടു എ ക്ലിനിക് in our lifetime. So where we will be able to see that all the health assessment will be happening, like height, weight, mid-arm circumference, even chest circumference, length of the baby, BP, temperature, all these things we used to take over in that particular room. Next is the consultation room where the doctor will be sitting. So in the consultation room, the doctor will be there, and the doctor is the main part of the clinic, and he used to prescribe the medicine, he used to consult them, or he used to tell them what all diagnostic tests they have to undergo. So next one is laboratory. So of course sometimes we all need some diagnostic evaluation for the proper diagnosis, or for in order to finalize the supportive treatment. So blood test, sputum test, urine test, skin test for leprosy, all these things. So whatever is available in the that particular clinic laboratory they can do. Otherwise they can think about the doctor will write and give them for the outside laboratories. Then the clinic should have a procedure room. So if it is a clinic, of course there should have a procedure room. So sometimes we need minor procedures there. Sometimes maybe it may be a first aid, it may be a wound dressing, it may be a small injection, it may be an privacy examination. For physical examination, as we all know, we need privacy. The patient expects the privacy. So of course they should have a procedure room for that. Even dental checkup, all these things happens in the procedure room. Then next is the dispensing. So in the dispensing we will be having the medicine, all the route, duration, dosage, frequency. So of all the medications, everything will be there. Even the bottles, ampules, everything will be available there. Then patient records and registers, it is also very very important. So it maintained as per the policy of the institute. So as we all know that there are various records maintained by the teachers over there. So the main thing is, one is antenatal record, next is a postnatal record, then we have a baby health card, immunization card, antenatal registers, postnatal register, immunization register, oral contraceptive register, morbidity registers. So these all are various registers. We have already been familiar with all this. So if we had a community posting, of course we all will be able to see all these registers in the PHC. So these are some of the registers which are available. So these all are the various registers which is needed for a clinic. Next is type of clinic. As I have told, we have seen about various clinics, like for example, general clinic, then antenatal clinic, then postpartum, especially for postnatal mothers and for under 5 children, then well baby clinics, especially for small babies, then especially they tell about the immunization, health assessment, feeding, growth monitoring, there will be all these things. Then first aid clinics, otherwise under 5 clinics. So various clinics are there. I'm very sure you all are very familiar with this. Morbidity clinics, especially for chronic non-communicable diseases like diabetes, asthma, cardiac disease, hypertension, epilepsy, all those things. Then especially some of the communicable disease also, they have their own clinics, like for example tuberculosis clinic, otherwise leprosy clinics we used to hear. So tuberculosis clinics where the dots is also dot centers are also there. What is dot center? Directly observed treatment, ഷോർട്ട് കോഴ്സ് അല്ലേ, മരുന്ന് അവിടെ നിന്ന് തന്നെ കഴിക്കുന്ന ഒരു രീതിയാണ്. ഡയറക്റ്റ്ലി ഒബ്സർവ്ഡ് ഹെൽത്ത് വർക്കറിൻ്റെ ഫ്രണ്ടിൽ വെച്ച് തന്നെ മരുന്ന് കഴിച്ചിട്ട് അവർ പോകുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ ഡെയിലി വന്ന് കഴിക്കുന്നു. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഡോട്ട്സ് വിച്ച് റിയലി മെയ്ഡ് സോ മച്ച് ഓഫ് മിറാക്കുലസ് reduction in the tuberculosis cases all over the world. So dot centers. So these all are various clinics. Next is the evaluation of the clinic services. The evaluation of the clinic services are conducted by evaluating the following aspect. നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ എന്ത് പ്രോഗ്രാം നടത്തിയാലും അതിനൊരു ഇവാലുവേഷൻ വേണം അല്ലേ. So if it is a clinic also, in order to know that whether the clinic is running properly, in order to know whether the clinic services are good or what, we should know about, we should do the evaluation. Then only we can assess the things. For the evaluation, the first thing is staffing of the clinic. Next one, accessibility of the services, utilization of clinic services, client satisfaction, the beneficiaries, changes in the behavior or morbidity and mortality. So these all things we have to evaluate. So then only we will be able to tell that whether the clinic services are effective or not. So how much of the staffing is present in the clinic, or how the staffs are trained to. Then accessibility of services, whether all the services are able to access in the particular clinic, whether in the laboratory all the tests are available, medicine is available in the clinic or not, these things. Then utilization of clinic services, whether these all things are utilized or not. Then client satisfaction is very, very important. Once a patient comes and if the patient is not willing to come again to that particular clinic, then of course they will not get enough patients. So the client satisfaction is very, very important. The patient should be having a trustworthy environment in that particular clinic. Then the beneficiaries, as I have told, in the area if there is more old age people, then of course a geriatric clinic or a old age clinic is much more benefit. So beneficiaries, who all are the beneficiaries, that really matters. Then changes in the behavior, so whether we are able to change the behavior of the people, their attitude towards the health, whether they all are able to follow. നമുക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാം, ഒരു ഹൈപ്പർ ടെൻഷൻ, ഡയബറ്റീസ് ഇതുപോലെയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഓൾഡ് ഏജിൽ വളരെ കോമൺ ആണ്. പക്ഷേ എത്ര ആളുകൾ മാസാമാസം അത് ആശുപത്രിയിൽ പോയി മോണിറ്റർ ചെയ്യുന്നു, അവരുടെ ബി പി മോണിറ്റർ ചെയ്യുന്നു, അവരുടെ ബ്ലഡ് ഷുഗർ മോണിറ്റർ ചെയ്യുന്നു, ദാറ്റ് മാറ്റേഴ്സ്. സോ ദാറ്റ് ടൈപ്പ് ഓഫ് ബിഹേവിയറൽ ചേഞ്ചസ് വി ഷുഡ് ബി ഏബിൾ ടു മേക്ക് ഇൻ ദം ത്രൂ എ ക്ലിനിക്. ദെൻ ഓൺലി വി ക്യാൻ ഇവാലുവേറ്റ് ആൻഡ് ടെൽ ദാറ്റ് the clinic is very successful. Then whether we are able to reduce the morbidity and mortality. So these all are some of the evaluatory factors of a clinics. നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഈസ് ഓർഗനൈസിങ് എ ഹെൽത്ത് ക്യാമ്പ്. സോ നമ്മൾ ഇതുവരെ കണ്ടതെല്ലാം ഒരു ക്ലിനിക്കിനെ കുറിച്ചാണ്. എത്ര രീതിയിലുള്ള ക്ലിനിക്കുണ്ട്, എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഒരു ക്ലിനിക്ക് ഓർഗനൈസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്, ഇതെല്ലാം. ക്ലിനിക്സ് മീൻസ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ആക്ച്വലി പെർമനൻ്റ്ലി സിറ്റുവേറ്റഡ് ഇൻ എ പർട്ടിക്കുലർ പ്ലേസ് ഫോർ 24 hours or for 12 hours, only daytime, otherwise day and night, but it is always being there for a long time. Once the clinic is situated or once the clinic is started, it will be there only for a long time. But what do you mean by a camp? Camp means it is just for a temporary purpose. Just it may be 6 months once one camp may be conducted, or annually once or twice it may be conducted. So health camp means it is for various purposes. So let us see the further types of camps. First one is general health camp, as I have told. Generally, in order to have a general checkup, in order to have a BP monitoring, in order to have a blood sugar monitoring, in order to see the height and weight, their BMI status, so all these things. So frequently, usually hospitals, they used to conduct the general health camp, because many of the people, once they hear there is a free general health camp, they used to come over there. From that camp, they may get diagnosed for a disease condition which was underlying, അല്ലേ? അവർ പോലും അറിയാതെ അവർക്കുണ്ടായിരുന്ന ഒരു അസുഖത്തെ പലപ്പോഴും ഡയഗ്നോസ് ചെയ്യപ്പെടുന്നത് ഇതുപോലെയുള്ള ഫ്രീ ഹെൽത്ത് ക്യാമ്പുകളിലൊക്കെ അവർ വന്ന് വെറുതെ ഒരു ഹെൽത്ത് അസസ്മെൻറ്റ് എടുക്കുമ്പോഴായിരിക്കും. So sometimes maybe free ECG. So it may lead to some changes. Then the doctor will refer them. You have to go to a cardiologist. There is minute changes in your ECG. When they come to a clinic, BMI may be very high. So they can tell that yes, you are very obese. So you have to go for the further cardiac checkups. So such type of things. Sometimes the patient then tell that I never had any BP or anything. But when we check the BP, they may have high blood pressure. So in that condition, we can refer such type of patient to the further services. So general health camp. The other one is disease screening camp. It is especially for some particular disease, in order to screen that whether the disease is there or not. Like for example, cervical cancer screening. So pap test will be, only pap test will be done over there, and all the ladies, those who are above 30 years, will be welcomed to that particular camp. So between 30 to 60, they used to come there, do the pap test, and they will be having the screening only for cervical cancer. So as I have told, it is especially for screening special diseases. ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു പർട്ടിക്കുലർ ഡിസീസ് കണ്ടീഷനെ സ്ക്രീൻ ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട്. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ, അതർവൈസ് കാട്രാക്ട് സ്ക്രീനിങ് ക്യാമ്പ്. സോ ദേ വിൽ ബി കമ്മിങ്, ആൻഡ് ഓൾഡ് ഏജ് പീപ്പിൾ especially, they'll be looking for the cataract. So how many of them have the cataract, and how many of them they really need the surgery, all these things they will be planned. So disease screening camp. Next one is health camp for old age people. So in order to check the old age, their health assessment, in order to focus on their non-communicable diseases, all these things. Then reproductive health camp for a woman. So only female reproductive health camps are camps related problems are treated. So here especially the women, they used to be welcomed, because most probably lady doctors will be available there, because most of the women, they would like to prefer a lady doctor, so that they can talk openly their gynecological problems or their reproductive problems, all these things. Then immunization camp, it can be. So it can be also conducted for, especially for against some specific diseases. So either it can be for an adult, or it can be planned for a child also. So immunization camp is also one of the important things. So but always you remember, camp is just it's a temporary one. So 6 months once or annually once, they used to conduct a health camp. It may be in relation with a hospital or a medical center, or it can be conducted by a nursing college. It can be conducted by any of the health professionals or a team of health professionals, all these things. Next is organizing a health camp. So when we organize a health camp, first thing is community meeting. So we have to conduct a meeting with the community leaders and the health workers, like ANM or the village health nurse, ആശാ വർക്കർ, അംഗൻവാടി വർക്കർ, ഓൾ ദ ലിങ്ക് വർക്കേഴ്സ്, സാനിറ്ററി ഹെൽത്ത് ഗൈഡ്, ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള എല്ലാ ഹെൽത്ത് സെക്ടറിലുള്ള എല്ലാ ആളുകളെയും കൂട്ടി ഒരു മീറ്റിംഗ് നമ്മൾ കണ്ടക്ട് ചെയ്യണം. സോ ദാറ്റ് വി ക്യാൻ ഐഡൻറ്റിഫൈ ദ പ്രോബ്ലം ഓർ നീഡ് ടു പ്ലാൻ ദ ഹെൽത്ത് ക്യാമ്പ്. So we will be getting an idea, or we will be able to identify the various problems what is happening in the area. So in order to identify the problem, in order to identify the need of the particular community, it is very good to have a community meeting before we plan a health camp. If the camp is a planned or ready to go project, explain the guidelines of the government to the members and seek their support also. Then community participation. Always community participation is very very important for a successful camp, അല്ലേ? കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേഷൻ, ആളുകൾ വരികയും സഹകരിക്കുകയും ചെയ്താൽ മാത്രമാണ് നമുക്കൊരു ക്യാമ്പ് വിജയകരമാണ് എന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റുകയുള്ളൂ. സോ ഇഫ് വി ജസ്റ്റ് പ്ലാൻ ആൻഡ് വി വെരി വെൽ ഓർഗനൈസ് എ ക്യാമ്പ്, ആൻഡ് ഇഫ് വെരി ഫ്യൂ പീപ്പിൾ ആർ കമ്മിങ് as the beneficiaries of the camp, then is of no use. So community participation is very very important. Then venue selection, same as in the clinic. ക്ലിനിക്കിൻ്റെ കാര്യത്തിൽ എന്നതുപോലെ തന്നെ ക്യാമ്പുകളുടെ കാര്യത്തിലും വെന്യൂ സെലക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. സോ ക്ലിനിക് മീൻസ് ഇറ്റ്സ് എ പെർമനൻറ്റ് വൺ. ഹിയർ ദ വെന്യൂ ഷുഡ് ബി സംവെയർ വെയർ ദ ക്രൗഡ് കംസ്, ഓർ ദ പീപ്പിൾ ഷുഡ് ബി ഏബിൾ ടു ആക്സസ്. മേ ബി sometime, for example, I will tell you, if the working category people, if they are going for the job, so they may not have time extra to go to a camp. So if on the way near, if the camp is conducting near to a government office, or if a camp it is conducting near to a private factory, so of course during the lunch break or during their free time, the people would come and check their health status. So this is how we have to select the venue. So we have to select a proper venue for the camp. Next is public announcement. So in public announcement, of course, advertisement is one of the main thing. നമ്മളൊരു ക്യാമ്പ് കണ്ടക്ട് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഇത് ആരോടും നമ്മൾ കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്തില്ല, ആരോടും പറയാതെ ആണെങ്കിലും ഓഫ് കോഴ്സ് ഇതാരും അറിയില്ല. സോ പബ്ലിക് അനൗൺസ്മെൻറ്റ് ഓർ അഡ്വർടൈസിങ് ഈസ് വെരി വെരി ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ്. It may be through announcing or by giving pamphlet or giving leaflets or by giving vouchers. We can give these all things to. So usually in the church, we all know that after the Sunday mass, the priest he used to announce there is a free health camp in the hospital on this particular date. All the pamphlet is available in front of the church. So same way in the school they can provide this pamphlet. They can provide in the factories or in the private sector, so that people will able to know. Even if it is in a broad scale you are conducting, really we can give radio announcement or television advertisement we can give for the free health camp, especially when new hospitals are beginning. In order for their publicity, they used to have a free health camp sometimes for a longer duration. So they used to give advertisement or they used to announce this thing through mass media also. Then medicine and staff. So medicine, adequate number of doctors, nurses, laboratory technicians and other field staff should be available for a camp. So if it is a camp, it should not be for just for a namesake. It should have proper staffing, it should have proper available medicines. At least all the emergency medicines or available things should be made available in the camp. Next is a referral. So if it is a good camp, if you are conducting a proper camp, as I have told, we will be able to diagnose various disease conditions. We will be, maybe fresh diagnosis can come up, or fresh changes from the health behavior or changes in the laboratory findings can be able to identify, which we can really refer such cases to the higher level. So referral is also one of the important aspect, is or one of the important part of a camp. So I hope you have understood regarding how to organize a camp and what do you mean by clinic and what are the various type of clinic. So organizing a camp or a clinic is one of your topic. So it can be asked for a 5-mark question in your university exam. If it is not available in your textbook, you can just write a running note by writing down the various headings, and you can go through and read this particular content also. Thank you, students.